One in five suffer.
Erase the stigma.
Brain difference is not a crime.
Mental health isn't just your problem.
It's our problem.
And now, Mental Health Monday with Marla and Dave.
Welcome to Mental Health Mondays with
Um,
Marla and Dave.
Really?
Clearly, that's Marla.
You gonna say with Marla and Dave like I'm not my own Marla? Can I? Hey, I'm
Well,
Marla.
whatever she's doing right now,
And
this
he's
is still Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave. And I happen to be Dave. So we have a great show for you today. Man, we're excited about this.
And as usual, I have to always tell everybody this show is brought to you by NAMI San Fernando Valley and Loving Beyond Reason, which are the two mental health foundations that we are hand in hand, arm in arm. And this is always, I have to always reiterate how important this is to us and our family and to all of you, because we just want to be able to normalize our differences.
Well, when you hear the name Brandy, most will immediately recall a favorite song. For others, maybe a favorite episode of her long-running 90s sitcom Moesha, or perhaps her masterful performance in the Broadway hit Chicago, where she slayed the role of Roxy Hart. Whichever entertainment platform that comes to mind, we can all agree Brandy's journey has been both timeless and incomparable. Brandy's lengthy career resume is one that her leagues of fans and supporters know immediately. Her latest project, B7, takes us on a deeper journey into her personal struggles with sweeping life changes and challenges, as well as the great music we've expected to come from Brandy, our favorite artist. When we come back, our guest is Brandy Norwood.
We'll be right back.
Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
Hey guys, listen up. Learn something.
All right. Well, listen, welcome to a very special edition of Mental Health Monday. As Dave wanted to use the name that Brandy probably files on taxes, we call her Brandy, and also, you know, we call her friend. Actually, to be honest, with the long-standing relationship we've had, we call her family.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
I have to just start number one. I wanted to take the beginning because I wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
No. This is my thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're having a moment here.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
We just happen to be watching. They're having a moment.
So what I wanted to say is this. You know, through the years, we've had so many just heartfelt conversations.
Yeah.
And when I say thank you, I know that through the journey, we have a journey.
Yes,
and through the journey that we've had, it's people take for granted that it's not easy to be able to just speak openly. It's hard enough to deal with all of us, to deal with struggles inside family and friendships, but we've done that. And so to me, getting us to a point where we can do this and be able to impact lives because we have healed within ourselves.
Yes, and in our friendship.
That's the point.
Yes.
So guess what? This is a very rare moment. And Brandy, every time she sees me, she says,
I kicked the camera. I'm sorry.
she says, that's not, I want a Mimi mask. So this is so special because my mother, who is also a super lover, she has made for you not just her own mask, but
A mask case.
a mask case, which no one else has gotten
Come
to date.
on, mask.
And this
case.
says Brandy's mask. And I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to give this to you because we never again want the world to know that there is magnificence in you and on your face.
Thank you. You are so
On your face.
On your
Oh,
face.
and you know, that's crazy because yellow is my favorite color.
We know that. We
Yellow
asked.
is my favorite
there's
color.
one.
And look at this is B7. Oh my
And here's your second one in case you want to put some makeup on one or whatever.
Thank you so much. Where do I show?
You can show. There's your camera right in front of you.
This is amazing.
So this one
Thank you,
comes with a
Mimi.
shield as well.
Come on, shield. Come on, Shield, and my own.
And your own case.
This is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm gonna have to go into business with your mama because this is.
Oh, we're in business.
See,
So you're with us.
I'm with you.
So this is
I'm with you.
just a reminder that everything that we do, Dave and I honestly, including this interview and this it's not an interview, it's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is always meant to be able to bring attention and also to bring support for mental health as it's seriously affected our family. So
Absolutely.
let's get into the journey. I think that one of the things that I wanted to be able to do is first just talk about you, because we're going to do this in 2 episodes and we'll continue our conversation. So what you don't hear live today, you will be able to hear again, or you'll be able to hear the continuation on the following Monday.
Yes.
So first out the bat, we know you have a new project, B7. We're going to get to that. But right now, I just want to talk about you and just your journey as a person and what you've gone through, and whatever you choose to begin sharing is where I want you to start.
Oh, my God. I mean, my journey has been unbelievable. I mean, I've had such a fantastic life, ups, downs, and I've endured a lot of different, challenges in my life. And I'm just so proud that I can, sit here comfortable in my skin and be able to share parts of my story that could possibly inspire other people. But
so when you say comfortable in your own skin, I'm just going to go here.
Okay.
Because
guide me. Because
I'm going to.
I need the help. I need the help. Because I'm a little nervous. It's live.
no such
I'm a little
thing.
shy.
No,
a
all
little
family.
shy. I know.
It's all family.
I know, but I'm a little
that's
shy.
okay.
Yeah.
So when you say comfortable in your own skin, I think the first thing I kind of want to really touch on is, because there's, as we opened up with Brandy and all of these, your gift God gave you, but your journey is very personal. And I think that the more, I'm just surmising and saying, and you can correct me anytime that you want to jump in, the more that your gift in entertainment and music and this persona grew, your personal journey became more protected.
Yes.
And
it's so important. It was so important for me to protect my energy, my spirit, my soul, because I have a daughter. I have, this person that's looking up to me, and I have to lead by example. So, my personal life, my personal spirit, everything became the priority for my life when I first had my daughter.
And I want to even go back a little further than that. Before that, because to me, a lot of times people don't understand the pressures that stardom puts on an individual. God. And you were such a big star so early on in life.
Yes.
Did you start to feel under the pressure of the weight of that stardom?
Absolutely.
And when did that start to hit?
Well, when I first came on the scene, it was all excitement.
Right.
You want to be popular, you want to be out there, you want people to know you.
You want to drive it up.
Yeah, you want to be a star.
Right.
The more people know you, the better. Yeah. But when you start so young, there's an expectation to basically not have the freedom to make mistakes.
Exactly.
And so I was,
Spotlight.
I basically had to follow this image of just never making mistakes, never, having a chance to just grow up just as a normal child, because I was a role model and I had to, be the example that everybody was looking for me
So
to
you
be.
took-
So that was a lot of pressure on me, because at the end of the day, I had to grow up. And you have to make mistakes to grow up.
Right.
Life is about trial and error and learning from the things that you do. And of course you have great guidance in your parents and the people around you that love you, but
you're still an
life
individual
is
that
still
has to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and life is still like the greatest teacher. So
Right.
I did feel a lot of pressure, because I didn't want to mislead anybody.
Yeah.
I have to say this, and I have to look in the camera and say this. That's actually one of the most amazing things, because it's very rare. And Dave, you and I can talk about this as well, that it's very rare that you find someone with the influential magnitude that you have that actually took on I'm a role model.
Yes.
Because nowadays it's like,
And
me.
responsibly took it on. I guess that's
what I'm
the main
saying.
thing.
Who actually owned I'm a role model. We have so much more conversation coming
Absolutely.
back with Brandy. We'll be back after this break.
Yeah.
When Dave and Marla get together, it's hot.
You may not realize it, but these words, often used to describe someone with a mental health condition, can be very harmful. In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation. Just because someone's struggle isn't obvious on the outside doesn't mean they aren't hurting on the inside. We need to see the person, not the condition. Join with me, pledge to be stigma-free.
It's time for the Mental Health Minute with Marla and Dave.
Many people believe there is nothing that they can do for a person with a mental health problem. In fact, according to mentalhealth.gov, friends and loved ones can make a big difference.
Only 44% of adults with diagnosable mental health problems and less than 20% of children and adolescents receive needed treatment. Friends and family can be important influences to help someone get the treatment and services that they need.
Reaching out and letting them know you are available to help is one way. Helping them access mental health services. Learning and sharing the facts about mental health, especially if you hear something that isn't true. Treating them with respect, just as you would anyone else. Refusing to define them by their diagnosis or using labels such as crazy.
If you or someone that you know is experiencing mental health challenges, please visit NAMISFV.org for help with hospitals and psychiatric units and mental health centers. Help with specific mental health issues, including suicide prevention, and specific help for veterans, including a veterans crisis line.
This message is brought to you by NAMI San Fernando Valley and
Loving Beyond Reason.
David is a thinker.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker.
So one of the things, Brand, that we have come to know through the journey with our family and our children, you know, our story with our son is very public. And one of the things we've come to know is that stress is one of the main fracturing issues that we all deal with. So I have to say it in that way.
Anxiety as well.
That's
which
what,
is kind of the same thing.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that I would like to ask you in your own words to describe. Everyone sees your life as glamour, but I think that people really discount the human in you and what the stress is. There's more stress, I believe, to be something, to say the right thing, to dress the right way, to be this person as an entertainer of the magnitude of which the gift that you've been given. So what are the stressors for you, and what are some of the fractures that you've experienced because of stress?
Oh my God. I mean, well, I'm a human being, so that's first and foremost.
Say that again in your camera.
I am a human being that happens to, have moments where I can, sing and be somebody, that can, help inspire other people. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and sometimes it takes a lot to just put one foot in front of the other at times. We all have our days where we don't feel our best. We all go through mental challenges and things that we deal with, and being in the limelight or being a celebrity or being a star, it doesn't matter.
Do you think is that scarier for you to actually come forward when you're in those moments of stress? Like everybody else goes through those things, but a lot of people are like, when they don't have everyone watching, they'll go, hey, let me get help, or is it scarier for you to trust actually going out and seeking relief, however that is for you, because of who you are?
I think now, because I've, I've tackled a lot of the issues of, not being able to be myself, not really knowing who I am, not knowing that, okay, this situation that I went through was traumatic, or, this left me with, a case of PTSD. I didn't have the knowledge, and I didn't really know what was really going on at, in certain times of my life. But now that I'm older and wiser, and I've tackled a lot of the things that I've gone through mentally, it's a little bit easier now. And then to, surround myself with people like you and Dave that, that take this kind of, take the whole mental health thing on, as your life purpose to help and heal other people. I want to be a part of this, and I feel like I'm in a place now where I can face my stress, and I can face the things that, I go through mentally, and not feel like I have to hide it because,
right.
I'm afraid
you can
of
truly be you.
Yeah, because I'm afraid of what people are gonna say or think, because that doesn't matter to me, because those people that are saying something, that are thinking something, are going through something as well.
What have you found is your thing that helps you kind of deal with when things are stressful? What do you do to kind of decompress?
Journal. I know everybody was clowning me on verses.
I was gonna say
with my journal, but shout out to Bandu. I need that deal. Cut that check, y'all, because this is my my journaling is my prayers are in my journal. My poetry, my music, just my thoughts. I just write out.
Now, is
my
that
thoughts.
just a way to get it from the inside to the outside, or do you go back and read them from time to time
I
and
try
reflect?
not to read, just my thoughts, the thoughts that I'm just writing just to get things out. But I do read the prayers that I pray to God, and they're pretty. It's pretty moving, to read the things that I.
And how important is your spirituality and your connection to God when it comes to maintaining your
balance.
Everyday balance in a very stressful, specifically now, pandemic world?
I think it's the most important thing for me to know that there is something bigger than me, higher than me, that's always watching and protecting, and God is that spirit, that energy that I invite in my life. Like I think that we need to do more of that. Invite, because I feel like God's energy is not intrusive. It's like you kind of have to knock, to get the door to be open. I think you need to ask, and be grateful and things like that. And I feel like it's like the most important thing to me. This is why I'm sane today, is because I have a relationship with God. And,
now, was there a time that you can remember, and I know all of us, when we grow up in a Christian family, we know pretty much the form, but when did it actually become such a personal thing for you?
I didn't like a lot of the things that I was hearing, and I just and I honestly didn't want a conditional relationship with God. I didn't want
transactional.
I didn't want it like, God, if I love you, then I get to I get my ticket into heaven.
Right.
And if I don't follow you, I got my ticket into hell.
Right.
Like
if I do
wanted
this,
it,
then
and then it's that. I wanted it to be something that was real. I wanted to really get to know my Creator, and I, not to make this a whole
we don't have to make it anything. We're gonna keep it real up in this area.
Praise and worship.
Right
I'm
now.
not trying to get but spirituality is something that we all have. It's innate within us. Whether we call God the same thing, or love is what we all. It's the inevitable, and I think we all have that within us, seated within us.
And spirituality, whatever you believe, your potential and your striving to be better,
Yes.
That comes from the outside that you receive. That's a big part of mental health, a mental health support system, a healthy mental health support system. So we're having a great conversation with Brandy.
I hope so. I hope I'm doing.
Oh my goodness!
All right.
We'll be back, and when we come back, Brand, you and I and Dave are going to talk about awareness and what happens within an awareness when it comes to our journey to mental wellness. We'll be right back.
Absolutely. All right, it's time. I say that again. For the poll question break. Marla, do you have up what last week's question was? Okay,
thanks
go.
Thanks for asking me. Toss it to me,
know,
Dave.
hey.
Last week that we told you that in most places across the country, the prison system has become the largest mental health facility by de facto. What percentage of state prisoners have a recent history of mental health condition? A, 11%, B, 17%, or C, 24%. Brand, what do you think about that? It's a random answer. I'll ask you again. What percentage of...
Yeah, because I was trying to see what was going on, and I'm
it's
like...
right here, girl.
Okay, what is it?
What
What
percentage of state prisoners have a recent history of mental health condition? Either A, 11%, 17%, or 24%. Prisoners that you think have mental health issues.
24%.
The answer is 24%, and unfortunately,
Come on,
that's a
somebody.
stat that we need to deal with a little bit better.
We really do.
Than just incarcerating people that need help.
Every problem doesn't need to be in
So the new
prison.
poll question for this week is 58,936 people in Los Angeles County experienced homelessness last year. That's a 12% increase from the previous year. The question is, what percentage of homeless adults staying in shelters live with serious mental illness? Your options are 17%, 26%, or 34%. You can actually vote and take the poll question. You'll learn something, have some fun. Anywhere our social media is, you'll find the poll question.
We always want to hear your voice, and so you know what I tell you to do every week. Vote.
Indeed. All right, we're back.
Ooh,
All right,
you guys are so in sync. We're back. Come on. Same time.
So, Brand, here's what I want to talk to you about. First of all, this is probably going to be one of the deeper segments that we have because I want to talk about awareness.
Okay.
And in our personal journey, in becoming aware, we've had a huge issue and misunderstanding, and I want to start this with my personal apology. And my apology is that
she didn't rehearse this, guys. This is real.
Oh no, no, there's no rehearsing here.
No, I know.
This apology is that I'm always in an intention that's well intended, but sometimes, and like she started off saying earlier, I'm human. So when the stress came in our relationship with our family, I feel like that in retrospect, that in love, I could have handled that differently because we really do have a real relationship and a real friendship. And in my frustration, taking that to social media was something that I personally regret.
You don't need to regret that.
But I do, and I want
to regret that.
But I'm saying this, and I need to say it to our audience because that amount of everybody at that time was struggling, even though, and so what David, I've actually learned this from Dave. When your goal, which is our goal in life, because we are motivated by love, is about someone else, then even when it hurts, sometimes you take the low road, and help should be the focus for all of us with each other at all times. Yes. So for that, I just want to say I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? I accept your apology.
Thank you.
I don't think you should have any regrets, though, because I feel like what happened needed to happen for us to be right here today. And I think our relationship is stronger. I think, without going into so many details of what happened.
Unnecessary.
I apologize for not understanding and not really having your back and having Dave's back as your friend, because I didn't have enough knowledge to really understand what you guys were going through in that whole mental health. I had no clue.
Which is why I call it awareness. That's the reason I said what I said,
yes.
because nothing is usually intended. It's just a self-awareness, which is why I think this is a beautiful conversation, because healing. Yes. And here's what I will say. Brandy brought up God and spirituality, and I know that's David and I's history in the last segment. The one thing I can say is this: God never has failed to bring completion in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think one of the other things that was important to me, even as all the issues that we dealt with were happening and starting to begin, for me, I can't emphasize this enough. Healthy boundaries are an extreme thing for me.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it might have looked defensive from our perspective, but I think it's my duty to protect that boundary around our families.
Yes, and I honestly believe that just from mother to mother, and and just
parent to parent,
parent to parent, I felt like you felt like you had to do whatever you had to do to protect your family, and I understand that, and I probably would have done the same thing. I've had my social media moments where I didn't pop some people or clap back on some people, and posted some stuff that I wish I didn't post and things like that. But at the end of the day, what I'm so thankful for is that you guys accepted me back in your life just as if nothing ever happened, and I accepted you guys back in my life as if nothing ever happened, and now we're on this road together to help other people who are struggling with
Indeed.
mental
Challenges.
illness
Well,
and challenges,
yes.
brain differences, which is
Right.
what I love how you guys, are coming up with different ways to, make people feel like it shouldn't be a stigma, or it shouldn't
Right.
be. No one should be ashamed because we all have our stuff.
Nobody's
Absolutely.
exactly.
I think we
No one's
all
immune.
mentally something.
Which-
And we need to,
Now, you don't even know that in conversations with you and your fam, you guys came up with something, and the term was mental wellness.
mental wellness.
And that's what we're all pressing toward.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. And that is why we work here at Mental Health Mondays, to just erase the stigma. That's what Brandy was referring to
Yeah.
just a minute ago. And because of that, allow that awareness that we are all talking about right now to include everyone.
Yeah.
And don't make so much distinction between you and anybody else, because we all deal with things we all have to learn to overcome. And when we do, we can help somebody else who needs to learn what we just went through.
And one of the
Yes.
things that we say at NAMI all the time, which
Shout out to NAMI.
here's yes for sure, and here's
Absolutely.
where powerful voices, all of us, come together to say you are not alone. You're not alone. We're
You're not.
all here talking about
not.
the same thing. So
And the people that are quiet about it, you guys are really not alone. Like some people just feel
Sure.
shame and feel like they can't.
most
Yeah. pretty
and
much.
I'll share this moment. I think that one of the hardest moments for me, and David knows, and I'm actually of the three of us, I'm probably the one that is more just all shields down, and to say out loud that what I cherish most in this life, which were my children, had any particular issue at all, just out of preservation and fear, was huge for me. But then at the same time, it was a relief, because it was a normalizing when I understood that my share was transparent, but the flood of love and acceptance and people who could relate that were helped was humbling to me. I was like, man, I never knew that God would use my pain for such purpose. And we'll be right back.
Yeah. Wow.
Bad.
Worthless.
Don't trust them. They'll hurt you. You're worthless.
It's pointless.
When the pain of schizophrenia meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
It's raw, real, and unfiltered. Marla, Dave.
All right, we have been having a great conversation with our guest, Brandy.
Yes.
We've been talking about life issues. We haven't even got a chance to actually dive into her illustrious musical career.
Did you? So hold on. Did you say illustrious?
Illustrious.
Did you bring that word out?
We just
You know what I do. That's what I do. So anyway.
You went to the back of the dictionary for that one.
So, Brandy, before we actually get out of here, because you're going to be with us for the next show as well,
Yes.
what would be your best advice to someone who feels like they might be alone or just feels like pressure might be overwhelming, and for them to be able to reach out and seek the appropriate help?
I would say to the person that's struggling and feels like they don't have anybody, I mean, therapy is I mean, it's life-changing.
Absolutely.
To be able to talk about your issues. And I think that if you have, people around you that love you, open up. That's one way to do it. Like I said, for me, journaling helps a lot, and then also therapy.
Absolutely.
It helps.
Absolutely. Well, as usual, Brandy's been a great guest. She's family. She will be with us for next week's show as well, so make sure you tune in.
I hear Take 6 in the background.
Okay.
Every Monday
I'm mad at
at 6 o'clock,
mad
right
at
here
that
on the
hearing.
West Coast, and whatever time zone it is for you. We want to see you next week.
Please.
Stay tuned. We'll be back. We'll hope to see you next week.
Absolutely.
Episode 2 with Brandy.